have opened our call-in lines as well, and we have been also speaking and trying to get as many reactions as possible on this barbarity, the sheer scale of barbarity that Hamas terrorists and the kind of hatred. Ratan Sharda ji is with us right now, sir. Unfortunately, what is now being witnessed today in Israel may become one of the most tragic losses of civilian life in modern Israel's history, sir.
Well, first of all, I feel very sorry, and I feel very unhappy that our people apologize for this brutal and very, very horrible, debased kind of violence that is happening in Israel by the Hamas. Is still being, defended by people, and there are apologists in India who are trying to defend it in the name of oppressed Palestinians. But does the oppression mean that we will go out and decapitate children, kill women, rape and parade them naked on the grounds? No, this is no ways acceptable. Today's civilized society, are we living in 7th century? Are we going to follow the diktat of 7th century philosophy that in the Arabian world allowed women to be used as personal property and debased? And it is unfortunate that we in India, there are people who are trying to make it into some kind of political statement. I think everybody has to unconditionally condemn it, stop it. So these people, if they had the grievances, they could have fought a war. They have been fighting war. And it is not the way you gain sympathy. You lose sympathy, and it justifies every action taken by Israel. And there are people who are denying it. I was in the TV debate yesterday, and there was a person who went on saying it's a fake news. Just like in India, they refuse to recognize any kind of such debased behavior by saying it's fake news. They're doing same and insult India itself in front of the world.
Pranesh?
Sharda, this is Pranesh. Taking off from what you just said, it is not just a set of people, sir. This is the entire ecosystem that we are talking about, and there is an attempt now to normalize and humanize cold-blooded terrorism. I mean, what can be worse than beheading babies? And there are people, on social media who would have us believe that, look, and they're not even calling Hamas a terrorist organization, Amita. That's worse. Mr. Sharda, they're saying that, there is now an attempt by the Palestinian resistance forces, their words not mine, to release people as if they're doing a service to humanity. This is the bestial nature of what Hamas has been doing, beheading babies, Mr. Sharda.
These are the same people who denied any violence in Kashmir, who denied the exodus of Kashmiri Hindus. They said it was a pleasant, migration of those people who were persecuted, killed, raped in Kashmir. The same thing they kept quiet in case of Bengal violence. I would not agree that none of this, ecosystem is protesting. I think there are some journalists who have been totally recognized as the committed caucus members of the same circle, ecosystem, who have spoken against it. And I think this voice has to be raised. You cannot debase your own humanity, your own sense of justice, your own sense of dignity of human life, and then trying to defend it. This is no way can be defensible. You have every right. Mr. Modi went to Palestine himself. No other PM had gone there. He went there, and we have been trying to get justice for Palestinian people. But when Palestinian people are acted on and used as a, for cannon fodder for these terrorist people, by Arab world who are sitting in their own homes and not putting up fight, they give money, they let them become fodder for this extremist Islamist violence. And then they say they need justice for years together.
Absolutely. And Mr. Sharda, I'm sorry to interrupt your chain of thoughts, but just hold on to the line for 40 seconds. So let's play out this IDF spokesperson's reaction once again. Then I have another question for you. We are being joined by more people, Amita. Let's play it out.
And we got very, very disturbing reports of that came from the ground, that there were babies that had been beheaded. And I admit it took us some time to really understand and to verify that report. And it was hard to believe that even Hamas could perform such a barbaric act. But after eyewitnesses came forward, and after a senior official in the Israeli coronary service, Zaka, came forward on record on CBS News and said, yes, I saw the bodies of beheaded babies, I think we can now say with relative confidence that this is unfortunately what happened in Be'eri. This is what Hamas did to Israeli civilians.
Now, Mr. Sharda, the IDF is saying that yes, we did take time, but now it is confirmed. And Amita, you were also talking about the kind of commentary we've seen, and I'm not naming individual, Mr. Sharda, but you know them. We know about those people who said that, this is how propaganda works. For them, this was propaganda, not the attempt, and they've been silent on this attempt to whitewash Hamas terrorism. In fact, they went on to say, and you will know what I'm talking to, who am I referring about, that they said that unfortunately journalists are fueling the war. Blame the journalists, not Hamas. Mr. Sharda.
See, it is very well known that Israel has offered solution with the global community has agreed for Palestinians. They have refused. Arab world has not allowed them to settle down. Billions have been flowing into Palestinian area that has been used to create terror apparatus rather than creating some infrastructure for education, for business. Why? Because these people want this that Israel should not exist. The basic Islamist philosophy is that Jews have no right to exist in this world. They have no right to be in this world as a nation. So from day one they have been attacked. And wherever secular and liberal people have been, those Jews have no right to exist who have been thrown out of the land for thousands of years. And when these are same denial people who have been denying every kind of violence, calling them Gandhi with guns, even in case of Indian terrorists, who have gone to courts and sought pardon for them at the stroke of the midnight. There are people who got bills on their phone. We know all these people, and they give highly costly legal support to all these terror people. But they are doing same for the international organizations. Sorry, not acceptable. That there was ideal way when these solutions are being offered. None of them has spoken. Entire Middle East has been burning. Millions have been dying in Yemen, in Syria, in Iraq, Iran. For what? For so-called religion which fighting with their own selves. So Shia versus Sunni, and Sunni versus some small sects have been killed, they have been butchered. Millions of them. Have any of these so-called liberals spoken about that? Never. Because for them it's vote bank politics. For them,
yes,
anything that suits them to satisfy the
Well, unfortunately, Ratan Sharda ji, is only when we try and question them, the answer that they give to us is ifs and buts, and saying that this is a reaction that has been coming to the action that has been taken by the Israeli forces. Thank you very much, Ratan Sharda ji, for joining in. I believe Mr. Arasan